All right, we're done the Donnie slash Masters of the Universe crossover, at least my interpretation of it. I started with the Michelangelo back there, and I want to make all four, but that's in time. I don't want to rush them. I don't want to keep doing one after the other. But this video is about what the colors I used, what kind of primers I used, and how I basically put it together when it comes to the color coordination of what I attempted to do here. So when I start out with the metallics, of course, you always want to put it over top of a black primer. So this is the Vallejo black primer that I always go to. I only use the Vallejo black primer. I tried different ones, but this one here just works well for me. Really easy to work with, and I did that over top of the basically almost the whole figure except the skin, except where it's green. We'll get to that in a second. But outside of that, I took some, and since my daughter got me this actual Warhammer matte white paint from the store or whatever, you can get it at any kind of hobby store. If they offer it or not, I don't know. But this is really, it does cover, it's almost perfect coverage. It basically, it's true to the bottle what it says. And it works really well for, almost anything when it comes to the plastics, to the 7-inch and whatever. I know it's built for the minis, but this is my go-to white. This is white is really hard to get through the airbrushes. Everybody, if you do airbrush, you know what I mean. Not a lot of clogging, not a lot of dry tipping. This stuff's great. Now, when I put the actual olive green on the skin, I added a little bit of Createx white, not this purple, but a white. I'm sorry, not black. Black right here. What am I thinking? Okay, white. A couple drops of black, Createx black. Give it to a light gray. I don't want to go over. I don't want to put this over just white. I want it to be a little bit darker. I know you can't tell, but it's a little darker, kind of than what this is actually in the bottle. So that gave that, I wanted to darken it up a little bit, and I didn't want to use a wash or anything like that or try to mix it up, but I just put a gray primer over top of it, and then the actual skin tone is, like I said, the olive green. Now, I did mix it up a little bit opposed to Michelangelo back here. We'll show you in a second what I did. But the skin, you'll see in a second, right, you can probably see it. You can see, I don't know if you can see, well, if you can see any brown, there's so much light on here. Let me see if I can, it's on his head and everything. I'll show you in a second, but I'll show you, well, let me show you why he's turning around. You can see that I got browns in there, little dots, but I'll show you in a second. This is kind of a bad spot to, it's kind of hard to, with all the lights on and stuff, it doesn't really do justice of the imperfections. I wrote really lightly with the imperfections with the brown, this leather brown. And I use this leather brown a lot with, this is a nice brown. It still has a little red tint to it, like leather wood, true leather wood, but I sprayed little spots, like I said, I'll show you in a second, all over the place just to give him some blemishes on his skins. I didn't want it exactly like the Michelangelo here with the black speckling and stuff like that. I want them to be the same, but I want them to be somewhat different as well, of course. Kind of makes sense, the same but different, just like the real turtles are. They're exactly the same, and depending on what turtles you like. But that's how I did that. Now, while we have the brown in my hand, I did the pads. First, it was black. I sprayed them black with licorice, my black go-to. I didn't spray them with the Createx. I like this black. This goes through the airbrush really well. I sprayed the pads and everything black. And then I went over and dry brush with some of this. And then same thing on the leather piece on his chest strap when it comes around. The same thing, I went with black, and then I dry brushed over top of that. And with the spikes, since we're talking about it right there, the spikes, I used a gunmetal, and then gunmetal on the pamper or his loincloth, whatever you want to call it, the gunmetal dry brushing, on the loincloth, but not the spikes. And then after I was done that, I went in some pastel and went around the spike. I'll show you, like I said, I'll get closer here in a second, but anything dark around that, the spikes and everything, is pastel. And I'll get closer. I know I keep saying this, but inside here you can see the embroidered stuff in his chest where you really can't see, but took a long time to do to stay in the lines and stuff. But you really don't see it now that I have everything on him. I used my go-to black licorice from Folk Art. This stuff can go through the airbrush as well. The shell, the same thing. I hit it with a yellow. Any yellow will do. I used a simple yellow from Createx. Same company here, but yellow, a bright yellow. A bright yellow is my base coat. After I went with a straight white. First of all, straight white on the shell. Straight white. Opaque it out white. Then I opaqued it out yellow. Michelangelo back there, he has a little more of a, you'll see in a second, more of it. See, you can see he's more of a yellow shell. I was on purpose, and I wanted to go a little darker just to change it up a little bit so they're not exactly the same, but they kind of look the same. They're related. So, and it's a turtle. So I went a little heavier with the brown. Same thing I did with Michelangelo's back there. A little heavier, where the brown, it's a little more of a traditional look of a turtle for the Donatello, because I think the brown obviously goes well with the purple and the green. So I kind of darkened it up. Michelangelo back here had some orange and stuff, and more of the highlights on the orange in the chest. It didn't have the armor on the chest so much as Donnie does with the pig head figure. So I want more of the yellow with the turtle shell back there. I'll bring them closer in a second. Now, when it comes to the belt, all I did was opaque it out black. I was back and forth with the belt for a couple days, not sure on what to do. Opaqued it out with some black. And then, believe it or not, you're not going to believe me, but I'm going to show you anyway. The one in the center, the emblem in the center, and the two sides. Let me come a little closer if you want. Now, the one in the center is this one. It's a red gold. I don't know how or what. It was black, so maybe that changed everything. It was in the center. Let me see here. There we go, in the center. I can stop spinning them now. But in the center was this one. And this is space dust my daughter gave me. And that orange violet are on the sides. Really bizarre. And I used a gloss over top of those just to make them shine. But the funny thing is, it's odd how the colors came out. I had some spoons that I did some test runs on. I got about maybe 6 or 7 of these back there. It came in a pack that she gave me a year or so ago. But it comes out different color on it just comes out. They're just crazy, the colors. I don't know, but not get too deep into that, because I don't want to make this too long. But that's those colors. Now, when it comes to the primary overall, let me see here. When it comes overall the actual armor, I went and picked out an inexpensive purple pearl that the color is great. I wish the lights are too bright, but this is an awesome purple. I was never really a huge fan of purple, man, but I tell you, the more times and metallics, but the metallic colors are really nice, and they're really smooth. This can go through an airbrush 50-50, 50% distilled water, 50% of this goes through great. So that's all the armor. Now, when it comes to the feet, well, there was the boots at one time. I cut his feet off and put the turtle toes feet on there. And the bandana, I got just opaque. It probably looks blue on camera, but this is definitely a solid purple, opaque purple, just from Createx. His bandana and his boots. Now, I used some black wash. Any black wash will do. As you can see, you probably can't see, but I did. You can see the wash in there. Maybe not on camera so much as the light. See, you can see it in the boot. I metistically, if I could talk and even say the word right, I doubt if I can. I went in and just hit it just with some wash. On top it's darker. Started out black, and then I hit it with some white, actually just straight white, because the boots were already black, and I hit it on an angle to give it some shadow. Then I hit it some more, and then I just went opaque with it. Was back and forth with the boots what to do, because the boots back here are a little different on Michelangelo's feet. But it's the same, but they're different. They don't have the wraps like this one did. The pig head didn't have the gauze wraps around the bottom, but it did have the top. So I want them to look the same. The other two turtles are going to be the same too, but maybe different. I know I keep saying same but different, makes no sense. And saying for some reason. I think that covers everything. I'm not sure, because the eyeballs. The eyeballs. Now, when you talk about Apple Barrel and inexpensive paint, yes, it is, but it serves its purpose. I'll get to the shield too as well. I know I'm all over the place. I keep forgetting where I'm at. So the eyes, when I got it, it was the bootleg, as you've seen in the video. If you happen to see it, I'll put those videos in the description of each of these videos. That it's a bootleg from Ali Express. That's where this head sculpt came from. It was a complete. I just primered it out and redid the head myself to match the skin, because I don't want to try to match it. And I completely repainted the head, the eyes, but the eyes were crooked because it was a $2 figure. I just wanted the head sculpt. I went in there with some this parchment white. This is a nice white for an eye. It almost has some yellow to it. It's very lively, in my opinion, the best way to describe it. Very, very weird. This is a wonderful odd color of white that Apple Barrel. I mean, maybe there's another company that makes this kind of white, but I don't think so, because I tell you, and why I'm talking about Apple Barrel and colors, you can see on his. Let me turn him around here real quick, get him to stop. You can see on all his fingernails and stuff like that, and his toenails, that this here, like his right there. I mean, I got it. It's so bright. If the lights aren't bright enough, it just doesn't look right. It just comes out dark and hazy. The video, as you can see, the toenails there, and the toenails there, and all the fingernails and stuff. What I did was, this is a wonderful. Damn, I can't breathe. This is the wonderful classic caramel color. I don't know why I can't talk right now when I'm doing it. I can never talk when I do a video. I don't know what that's about. This is my go-to fingernail when it comes to a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. This is the color. This is it. This is the color. I don't know what it is, but I love it when it goes with the green. It's a perfect combination of, and I know you could probably say, well, I can mix that, or I can find that color. I maybe you can. I'm sure you could, but I haven't. This goes great with the green. It's nutty how the color just, they're made for each other, if I want to say it that way, if I won't even say anything like that. But this caramel, classic caramel, I cannot find a happier brownish caramel color in any other competitor of paints. That's just me. Maybe it's my eyes that see that. Now the loincloth, I think I said this, I don't know, I had to do this video twice because the video got corrupted, or it just whatever. Gunmetal, I dry brushed his loincloth with gunmetal, and I did use the spikes, like I said. Maybe I didn't say it. And back here, the same, I used brown. Anything brown on here, I used the leather brown, anything brown. Now, when it comes to his bow, back here, the same thing, brown. Over here, I mixed these two colors together to get my desired gray. Right there, and I took some wash and I went in between the cracks and put the original bow that the figure I used for his hands, shell, and feet is a different figure you've seen in the video. If not, I'll put that in, it's going to be in the description as well, how I put this together. Complete walkthrough. I used three different figures to make this one figure. Same thing back there, same figure, different figure when it comes to the Masters of the Universe. This was the He-Man, whatever, if you know the Master, I can't remember, the Viking He-Man, I believe. This was Pighead, the 7-inch Pighead for Masters of the Universe, or Powerverse, whatever it is. Outside of that, man, that's it. And the bow is a dowel. It's a pack of dowels from Walmart for like $1. You got 12 of them. It's just a bag of dowels of this size. Same size. Now, when it comes to the base, same thing as Michelangelo. I'll put that in the description as well, maybe, but it's the same thing. All I did was go with, this is foam. It's just, his leg is probably the worst. I don't know why, but maybe I got a bad figure. It's okay though. I mean, I'm sure I could fix it with some kind of icky stick tack or whatever, but this here is it's just foam. It's house installation foam. That's all it is. When it goes on out, outside of a house or something like that. But he's not limited to this pose. I can move him around. That's why I kept the extra, the joints different than back here. You notice this looks probably better when it comes. I'll show you in a second. Let's do it now. Let's do it now here. It'll probably fall off, I guess, but I don't know. Like I said, his leg is so wobbly. It's very disappointing. Of course, the figure I get that I'm going to do a project with is not the best figure you could probably get from the store when it comes to that figure. But this one here we go. Let me get back here a little bit. Here we go. Okay, so same thing. And when I did this base, I had an idea that I was going to put these bases together like this. Let me see here. Something like this, you know. See, it works out pretty good. That works out pretty neat. Just kind of back out a little bit. No, I'm all the way backed out. Let me come down a little bit. There we go. Now, still kind of whatever. I can't. It's kind of big. It's kind of big. I can't get it in frame, but you get the idea. The base here. I was putting the bases together. I used real quickly on the base, like as this pink and this straw. The straw, they're straws. The piping is straws. That's all that is. It's DIY straws that kid would get to make straws and put them in a drink. You can get these at, you can get these at Amazon. They just come clear or blue. They're blue and clear. Real simple. You know what I mean? They come maybe in different colors, but mine came clear. I like that. See, that's basically it. You put them together, and then there's your you put them in, you snap them in. There's your piping you can make for underground, like the pipes here, pipes there. Same thing, it's the same base. Before I get to the base, I'm gonna explain to you what I mean about this didn't. I'm happy the way it came out, but I thought it would be a little better. Meaning, I don't know. I think it's when you put them together, it looks better. It looks better when you put them together. So let me move this out of the way down here. You put them together. I had an idea of putting them together, like, coming together like that, the base. But when I do the next turtle, I'm gonna have it about this size. I'll create a base that fits in here out of the foam, same thing as this stuff is, and I'll put either Raphael here, Leonardo back here, or Leonardo here, or Raphael up higher on a rock or something back here. That's what I'm thinking. So right now I'm going to keep these apart when I thought I was going to keep them together, because when I made the base, I had in mind that these two were going to go together like that, and then I was going to create another base over here and a base back here to be higher. But in my mind right now, I don't know. I think I'm going to put this over here, or put him in the back like that, and build the base around the other figures. Why am I going to that deep detail on here? I don't know why. But the base is just foam, all put together with the piping, the straws, and then right here, like all the goo. Let me see here, all the goo and stuff. See, that's just transparent green, and it's just hot glue. Hot glue, let it drip, let it dry. Outside of that, that's it. The rocks are just little pieces of foam. As you can see here, as all this little broken up wire is just paper clips and foam, and the bricks is just air dry clay my daughter gave me. It's just air dry clay is all it is. Outside of that, man, I think that's it. I kind of went overboard of trying to describe or explain what I did. But yeah, that's it. There's the Donatello, Michelangelo. I got 2 more to do, but that's probably going to be down the road because I have something else I want to work on right now. All right, real quick. I know it's been a long video, but this here goes on his arm. I don't know if I may keep it on, I may take it off. I'm not sure. I kind of like him like that. I know because he's already got a lot going on. But same thing applies to this. I took my time to make it match his armor, and the spikes and stuff. I forgot to mention this in the video, but it's in the tutorial I did. So I'll just let you know what happened to it if you care. But I don't know how that's going to look on there. Throw it on real quick. Just kind of. I don't know. When I get all of them together, I may leave it on there. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, same thing applies. The purple does go pretty well though. Better than I thought. All right, you guys take it easy, man.